Hi, I'm Lee with TechMultiverse.com, and today I wanted to take a look at actually getting Blender 3D animation software and downloading, installing, and getting a look at the starting interface. So, without waiting, we're going to jump right into it. I'll open Firefox and navigate to the page. You can download it at www.blender.org and go to the downloads page and get the software. I did a few articles on Blender 3D about a week ago, and so for all those who haven't had a chance to go ahead and look at those, you can either head over to the website www.techmultiverse.com and check out the random stuff page, or you can continue watching this video. So you go to blender.org. First of all, I've got it here in my favorites since I spend a lot of time on the website looking at their tutorials and such. And you go to their home page, as you can see here, and here's the link up top. And you go to the downloads page here, and as you can see, they have Blender 2.49, which is stable. But for all those who want Blender 2.5, which is the newest version, you can get the beta by clicking here. Okay. Now, once this page loads up, we'll go into actually downloading. They support the 32-bit system on Windows, the 64-bit system on Windows. They also support the Linux and Mac version, but we'll look at the Windows for today. Okay, you click the link here for Blender 2.56, and your download will start automatically. Now, I've already downloaded the software, so I won't need to here. And once you download it, you navigate to wherever your browser stores your downloads. Mine is my downloads folder. And you can go to Blender, which will be here for you. And once you double click, it'll install. And you can go ahead and run it. It's ready to go. It runs on the Python script, um, as you probably know already. And then you can go ahead and pin it to your start menu like I have. Makes it easy to access, and then it'll start right up for you. Okay, so give it a second here and it'll load up, and as you can see, here's the front page. Here's the recent projects that I've been working on, and in further tutorials I'll probably take a look at some of the things I've been working on. Okay, so when you first open Blender, I'm going to File, and I'm going to load the factory settings so that we can get back the default that Blender comes with. Now, on the default scene, you have panels with headers, okay? And that's what you see here. This is the 3D viewport. It has the name of the current view that you're in, the object that's selected, and the current frame that you're working on. Now, the frame is also found here in the timeline panel, okay? And it's on frame 1 is indicated with this green line here, and here is the header down at the bottom. As you can see, it has all of the tools for navigating the timeline. Here in the 3D viewport is the header. It shows the information from the items that you have selected inside of the 3D viewport. Okay, now here on the side is the object tools, which you can hide or show by pushing a hotkey T, which will give you more space in the 3D viewport to work with, just if you desire to have a little bit more room. And here on the right side here, we have the outlines panel with the header at the top, and it shows all of the tools to scroll the panels header from right to left. You can hold the middle mouse button and drag from right to left, which is useful for seeing the whole header when you don't have a lot of room in that current panel. Under that, we have the outline, the properties panel, which is arguably the most important in Blender because it shows so many different properties. For this is the render output, as you can see, a lot of the different output settings for rendering your animations. Here you have your scene. So it has all of the information on objects in the scene. You have your world, which is mostly set to the background color and ambient occlusion, environment lighting, indirect lighting, and such. And it goes on for different types of information about objects that you're working with. And so it's a good reason to have this panel open at all times. It shows you different properties. You can also look at the properties panel for the 3D viewport by hitting the hotkey in, and it shows pretty much the same thing but in more of a quick view just in case you don't have this panel open. So you can hide that by pushing in and then T to hide tools, and you have a full 3D viewport. You can also toggle the full screen for the 3D viewport by holding shift and hitting the space bar, and it takes your 3D viewport to full screen just in case you need a very large amount of room to work with, and you can toggle back and forth by hitting the same key again, and that's holding shift and hitting the space bar. Now, for customization, you can head to the file label that's at the top header on the information panel and go down to user preferences. Now, the first thing you want to do in Blender is look at the input. Okay, and the reason I say that is because a few things needed for navigating through Blender 3D's viewport is the 3-button mouse, and so you want to emulate that if you don't have one. And also, a lot of keyboards don't come with the numpad. Say if you're working on a laptop or a mini keyboard, you need the numpad to navigate to different views and different things like that inside of Blender. So those things are a necessity. So that's one of the first things you want to do if getting started with Blender 3D animation. The first panel is the interface. So you can customize the interface and what things are labeled and what things are shown and hidden and so forth and so on. So you can go into those and take a more in-depth look as you get the software. Next, you have the editing, and it basically deals with a lot of the editing tools inside of Blender and how to manipulate those options. As you can see here, you can check or uncheck, and it'll take current effect in real time. And then back to the input, which is the third option over, and you can scroll down to see so all of these different options, and these are mostly the different windows and hotkeys that you can edit to quickly go back and forth as you see fit. And then you have your add-ons window, and all of these add-ons are included in the default software, so you can just check them, and then they're available for you to use inside of Blender right now with no additional downloading or installing or anything like that. It's already included. Then you have your themes window, and this is basically just to color coordinate the different panels as you see fit to where you get a different type of look and feel to it. And probably in further tutorials we can go in and customize it, and we can do a full walkthrough on that if anyone would like to have that tutorial pretty quickly. You can comment on this video and I'll get back to you as soon as possible, or head over to techmultiverse.com and send me an email, and we can start jumping into some things that actually people have questions with. I haven't necessarily been using the software for an extended period of time, excuse me, but I've been using it long enough to be comfortable with navigation through the software and actually building some models and texturing and so forth and so on and dealing with animation. So here in the file window, we have all of your options on where Blender will save your work and your temp files, and also go and grab different plugins and fonts and things of that nature. So here in the file you can customize those things. And then in your systems panel, now this panel I haven't spent a whole lot of time looking at, just basically I'm comfortable with the way Blender has the default settings with the system, and I don't really know enough to go in and change any of these options to benefit me more so than it already is. So I leave those as they are. Okay, now as we close that, as you can see, we have our cube. To grab an object, you just right click on it and it'll get an orange highlight by default. And if you hold the right mouse button and drag it, it will move that item around. When you release the mouse button, it leaves the item wherever you put it. If you have the release selection option tagged. If not, you'll have to click the left mouse button to leave it where it is. So you can drag it, click with the left mouse button, and it'll leave it there. If you wanted to go back to the default position that you had it in, you can always right click again and it goes right back there. Okay, to select other objects inside the 3D viewport, you just go to them and right click and they highlight here and you can see that you have those clicked. You can also move this. This is the default lamp that's on the setting. You can move that and contrast to whatever object you're dealing with, and also your camera. You can move the camera in, out, around. You can rotate it by highlighting it with the right mouse button and hitting the hotkey R, and it rotates as you can see. Okay, to go back to the default position, you just right click again, or you can left click to get it to your desired position. Okay, now you can go to different views inside of Blender by using the numpad that I told you about. The number 1 goes to front view, as you can see here with the name of the view, and then 3 is the right view, 7 is the top view. So you can also hold down control and hit the same numbers for an opposite of that view. So control, and then if you hit 1, it goes to the back view, as you can see here. Control and 3 goes to a left view, because with the regular 3 button it went to right. And then if you hold 3 and 7, it goes to the bottom. So as you can see, that's why I told you guys that the emulated numpad would be one of the most important choices in the input window, because you need those hotkeys to get to the different views and navigation, which helps you with modeling and viewing your object. So I think that'll be it for this tutorial. Sorry if I'm a little, you get the picture. This is my first tutorial, so hopefully it was informative and hopefully you have a good time in Blender 3D animation. Goodbye and happy blending.